Well, Ignite Global is a consultancy that works with companies on hiring better people and then keeping them once they've got them. And I've developed a 5-step framework that myself and my consultants use to work with clients all around. I call it the 5 C's, and it covers the entire employee engagement life cycle, from hiring right through to how do you communicate with them. Low engagement, low employee engagement is a problem all over the world, and especially here in Australia, because Australia has the 3rd lowest employee engagement rate behind Singapore and mainland China. It is chronically low. And I know that we read in the papers all the time about low productivity. Well, I believe that the two are linked. If we had higher engagement levels, we would have higher productivity. In fact, the Gallup organization says that we could increase productivity levels by up to 1/3 for every disengaged employee that we help become more engaged, better engaged. So it's a huge problem. And now that the states are showing some real signs of comeback, you can tell by my accent that I'm originally from the States, although I live and work here in Australia now. But when the States has the real resurgence that we're expecting it, they're going to be gunning for Australian staff. And that, in conjunction with the demographics, the baby boomers getting older, and the huge paradigm shift that we're under, where we are moving from an economy where employees were asked to do routine, tactical, and predictable work. Now we're asking them to do more strategic, more solutions-oriented work. It's sort of a perfect storm of factors that, when all of these things start to combine, McKinsey says that we're going to be faced with an 85 million skills shortage. If companies don't embrace this now, it's going to be too late, because they're going to see a lot of turnover within their employees, and they won't be able to recruit people to replace them because of this worldwide skills shortage. So I truly believe, it's employee engagement is such a buzzword right now. And it's going to become even more important as the worldwide economy starts to come back to whatever normal is. It's interesting. I actually think that it goes back to that paradigm shift that I just talked about. The way that we hire and manage staff, actually, we've been doing the same things for a very long time. Actually, since the Industrial Revolution, where we would hire people to do very routine, specific things, get low-cost labor in and teach them how to do one thing. And that worked so well on the factory floor that we started replicating those processes. And in the white-collar workforce, even though we were trading brain instead of brawn for our weekly paycheck, we were still being hired and managed to the same specifications. Now, that worked great for about 150, 200 years, but it's no longer working. As the workforce has transitioned to this more innovative, strategic, and solutions-oriented work, the way that we've hired, specifically, especially the way that we've hired, but the way that we've managed staff, has not caught up to what we're now requiring from staff. So if you think about it, employees want to do this more innovative, strategic, and creative work, and we need them to do that. Where's the disconnect coming from? I believe that we're not providing the right environments to enable them to do that. We're not hiring the right people in the first place, and then we're not providing the right environments. And I truly believe that that's the disconnect. That's where the problem is, the fundamental problem. Well, it all comes back to hiring the right people. So the 5 C's framework that I've developed starts with hiring correctly. Hiring instead of on skills, which we've been doing for the last 150 years. Tell me, if we're in a skills shortage, how are we going to continue to hire on skills? We're not. So we need to look at those behaviors that drive success, both from an organizational level as well as behaviors that are needed to do the job. Hire for behaviors. Learn to interview so that you understand past behaviors, because past behaviors are a predictor of future success. Then once you've got them hired, classify and manage them appropriately. Don't treat everybody equally. And as managers, we tend to give more time to our squeaky wheels. And that's the wrong answer. As a result, our critical people are leaving us, and for no reason at all. got to compensate fairly, but here the operative word is the F word, not the C word, fairly. Staff need to feel like they're well paid. It's a hygiene factor. Once they feel like they're well paid, then you can use what I call currencies of choice to really, those intrinsic motivators that truly drive and motivate people. And the only way to understand what their currencies of choice are is to communicate with them, which is the fifth C. So developing a robust plan for communication. I think there are 5 conversations that must be had on a monthly basis with our employees to truly tap inside their minds and understand what drives them, what motivates them, and how to unleash their potential. It all starts with correct hiring. It really does. Get the right people in. Don't put bums on seats. I know that it's difficult to find the right staff, and it's going to get more difficult to find the right staff, but think strategically about those behaviors. How do they need to fit within the organization? What behaviors do they need to do the job? And then structure appropriate questions to elicit specific examples of those. Hold the candidate's feet to the fire to make sure that they answer those appropriately and make really very robust, objective decisions rather than just gut feel. That would be the first tip. The second one would be look at who are your critical people and your squeaky wheels. Deal with your squeaky wheels and really concentrate on those critical people. And then the third one is sit down and talk to your staff monthly. Talk to them about these 5 conversations and get inside their minds, figure out what's driving them, how to unleash their potential. The sessions that I've heard have been top notch. I think that what the Shared Services Network is doing is critically important because shared services and outsourcing, shared services and outsourcing are the wave of the future, and there are many reasons other than just cost to consider this, and this is a great place to go to learn best practices. So I think it's a phenomenal event.